We're going to hear from Conservative leader Andrew Scheer this morning, responding to the government's pandemic response. He'll be on Parliament Hill at 10 a.m. Eastern, and we'll have that live for you on CBC News Network. Today is a key milestone in the race to replace Andrew Scheer as Conservative leader. 4 candidates are in the running. There they are. And today is a key deadline for anyone who wants to choose the leader from among these 4. Hannah Thibodeau is on that story from Ottawa this morning. What is the looming deadline, Hannah? Good morning.
Looming deadline for online sign-ups for new members is tonight at midnight. So what it is, those are the people who will elect the replacement of Andrew Scheer for the next Conservative leader. But let's be frank, this COVID-19 pandemic has caused havoc, really, for this leadership campaign. And in fact, you've seen the leadership teams change their tactics over the past couple of months. Everything from how they sign up new members to even how they try to convince them to vote for their candidate. Take a listen.
Tons of phone calls, like I'm on the phone steady, sun up till sundown and past that.
It's not the typical going to church basements and signing up people or going door to door. It's a very different sort of campaign, that's for sure.
A lot of video conferences, teleconferences, individual phone calls, emails, social media interaction.
So listening to that, it is so interesting how they've changed the methods and the strategies and the race, as you say, Hannah. And there's still a whole lot of work for these campaigns to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, of course, they want people to choose them as their number one choice. However, to decide this leadership race, Heather, it's a ranked ballot. So that means when they get their ballots, and those ballots will be sent out in 2 waves in June. So once they get their ballots, they rank how they want this in the top 4. So many of them are pitching to be number 2 and sometimes even number 3. And the reason for that is because if in the first ballot, if someone doesn't win, well, with 50% plus 1, then they go to the second ballot. So that the last place person in that race drops off the ballot, and then their number 2 choices are added on. So when it's a close race, and polls are suggesting that it is a close race between Aaron O'Toole and Peter MacKay, they really have to try to convince Leslyn Lewis as well as Derek Sloan's social conservative side voters to try to get them to put them as their number 2 or even potentially number 3 if they hope to win this race, if they can't do it on the first ballot.
When will we know who has won, Hannah?
Well, originally they had planned on making the announcement on June 27th. Of course, the pandemic changed everything. It got delayed. Ballots now have to be in by August 21st. And then once they count those ballots, don't expect to see that typical, the big announcement at a convention. That convention where people are on the floor. Last time there were 2,000 when Andrew Scheer was elected. Don't expect to see that. That has been canceled because, of course, social distancing. And what we do know is that the Conservative Leadership Committee is looking at all types of options, whether they do it as an online type of announcement, whether they have the 4 candidates standing on a stage in some type of safe environment. Those are the types of things they're looking at, but we do know that the new leader is expected to be announced as soon as August 21st or 22nd, or within days of that, Heather.
All right, Hannah, thank you very much. Hannah Thibodeau.